Whoa, would have never guessed that. Charlie sat at the same desk wearing the same coat because it's freezing. Absolutely groundbreaking stuff. We have got a problem to start this video off though. The king of samples, Charlie Frost, has messed up a sample. So what we're going to have to do is make a sample here with what we've already got. Now let me explain. As you know, I pride myself on making the best tech packs possible to make sure I get samples right first time. But I've been trying to make a replica of this tank top I had last summer, which isn't a Frost garment. I just printed Frost logo on it so I can have it in bulk production for next spring. However, whoever read my tech pack from my manufacturer must have been drunk at the time because it looks absolutely nothing like what I sent them. The tech pack I sent them looked like this, and what they've made looks like this. I'm not sure what was going on during that sampling process, but that is definitely not what it looks like on the mock-up. So I'm going to spin it into a different idea now, because obviously Frost are known for t-shirts, and actually last year I did forget to pre-treat one of the t-shirts, so I have it as a spare in my size. And as it's winter now, we're designing for summer like usual. What I'm going to do is create my own cut-off sleeveless tee so I can make a tech pack with the actual sample in my hand. Now this is a t-shirt in question. This is what happens when you do not pre-treat a t-shirt when you're DTGing. And if you don't know what pre-treat is, it's basically just a very thin layer of adhesive glue that goes on top so you can print a white base and then colour on top so it pops more. And this only has to happen on dark garments. On lighter colours like white and light grey, you're fine just printing on. So what I'm going to do now is just literally cut the sleeves off and try it on to make sure it looks decent. Because in my mind, it's sort of like a cowboy sort of vibe. However, I don't know if the fit I've made for my t-shirt is going to match exactly what I'm thinking. But there's only one way to find out. As I was cutting it then, I thought, why is this so hard to cut? And I realised, of course it's hard to cut. It's a Frost t-shirt. There's no better quality t-shirt out there. I think it should. The shape of it on the floor, when I show you then, it actually looked exactly what I thought it was going to look like. You know what? I think I might have just made another product. Maybe when I'm cutting it, cut it slightly higher so it doesn't come over the top of the shoulder, so you can get the little pump in. But I'm actually quite pleased with how that's turned out, you know. Obviously what I'm wearing doesn't really go with it now, but I'm just imagine this. Imagine this t-shirt with actually a nice pre-treat. Actually, even with the non-pre-treat design, it looks really cool. But just imagine this with the jorts that I'm making, and I showed you last video, with a nice pair of white Frost socks and a pair of Vomeros on. You're absolutely flying, mate. Add a little accessory to the jorts as well. Little wallet chain, even though it's not connected to your wallet. And then you're absolutely dripping in sauce. The Frost FPL League has officially begun again now because I've decided to start actually getting some more points this weekend. I think it's Monday now and I've still got Bruno Fernandes to play tonight. But I think I'm on like 80-something points, so we're back in the game. I mean, it is still pretty embarrassing on my part because I'm mid-table in my own league. There's like 400 people in it, and I'm like 169th. That can't be going. When I started the league, I thought, yeah, I'm going to boss this, easy top 10, and I'm 169th. The season's not over yet though, so I'm coming for that #1 spot, and it will be getting renewed next year. So if you want to get in, make sure you follow Frost on Instagram for when we renew it next year. I've touched on this topic before, but currently all the samples I'm getting in, what I'm thinking of doing is basically doing what most American brands have done, what I've seen. They'll get a sample, they'll promote it as if they're going to drop it, but they don't actually set a release date until they get feedback on what product's going to do the best. So this way they minimize the risk of having like loads of leftover stock. So what I think I'm going to do is the exact same thing. I post consistently on YouTube. I post consistently on my personal TikTok page that I don't think anyone on here knows about. But I don't post consistently on Frost enough because I don't know what type of content to make for my target audience of like 22 to like 26-year-old males, sort of like Cold Books and Represent. Saying that out loud then has just made me realise that I can't wait until it's perfect. I just have to make it and put it out there. If it doesn't do well, go back to the drawing board. Because if it didn't do well and got stuck on 300 views, no one saw it anyway, so who's actually bothered? Like I took the risk on that Frost Flow video I did. Got like 90 likes for a reel, which for Frost is actually pretty decent. Promo videos that have taken me 3 days to make. I've got less likes than that. I'm definitely going to be doing another one of them, which will probably get posted this week, and then take it from there, as well as making personal brand content. I need to start posting reels on my personal account to build up a following, because making these YouTube videos, I feel like I'm a lot better at selling myself than I am selling the product, because when you're selling yourself, all you have to do is just pick the camera up and talk like it's a normal person, and I think I've got pretty decent at that, to be fair. Now that all my designing is pretty much locked in for summer, all I need to do is start designing graphic t-shirts and stuff, which once I enter flow state, which happens about once every 2 months, I'll have designs for like the next year, so I'm not worried about that. What my main focus is now, because obviously I've got this absolute belter camera, I want to build up my personal brand. So what most of my day has consisted of today is basically going through last week's vlog and just segmenting it into different clips. Now, the purpose of these clips is obviously to post on Instagram, but what I'm doing with it is posting it on trial reels rather than main reels, because on my personal page, the grid looks pretty nice, to be fair. It looks better than the brand for some reason. And until I find the actual style of content I want to post, I need to test a lot of different variations, and that's exactly why trial reels is belter. A trial reel is basically, you'll post a video and it'll show it to non-followers first, and then if it does well, you can switch it to get posted onto your main grid. And my objective for this is not to nurture the eyes I've already got, because I've only got like 900 or so followers on Instagram, my personal page. I want new eyes, and in order to make content for the new eyes, I need only the new eyes to see it, which is why I'm posting 5 trial reels a day on Instagram. I'm testing a lot of different things. First thing I'm testing is style of video, because although I'm clipping at the moment, that's not the only content I'm going to be posting. I need to post specific content only for Instagram, because depending on the platform, the content changes. For example, something that does well on TikTok probably won't do as well on Instagram Reels, and vice versa, because people have different mindsets when they're using the app. And then second of all, I'm testing different hooks. Now, a hook is the start of the video. A start of the video is literally the most important part of the video, because it grabs people's attention, and I'm testing this out with different video hooks and also text hooks. Mainly text hooks at the moment, because I don't want my page to be sort of like TikTok-y, if that makes sense. I don't want people to be hooked because the video's like brain rot. I want it to be hooked because I'm actually providing value. And I've been looking into a lot of different personal brand builders on YouTube, and they say you need 3 content pillars. And my content pillars are going to be business, fashion and fitness, because that is literally my whole life. That's all I care about, is business, fashion and fitness. So as I've only just got this absolute godsend of a camera, I need to get a lot of B-roll, which is what's playing on the video while the sound's going over. That's also interesting at the same time, because at the moment a lot of the video is literally just me talking to the camera, and it's going to take a lot of work. But if I build my personal brand up, you can basically sell anything, because people are buying off you because they like you. And I just know that I have the ability to do it. What I've learned about in the business world is that people will think you're deluded and cocky in the beginning when you don't have any results. But once the mindset shifts and you've actually got the success to show it, people just always think, oh yeah, he's always been like that, as if it was sort of destined. So what I'm basically doing now is speaking myself into existence, because I'm going to build a huge personal brand. I am going to build the biggest clothing brand in the UK. And more importantly, I am going to win. Marketing is by far, in my opinion, the hardest part of running a clothing brand. And a definition of marketing that I like to use between branding, because sometimes I get a little bit confused, is marketing is asking a girl on a date, and branding is a reason she says yes. For Frost, I think my branding is really, really strong, but my marketing is really, really weak. If you look at my profile grid on Instagram, you can sort of get the vibe and who the customer I'm selling to right away. But my problem is not asking the customer enough if they like the brand without directly trying to be salesy. It's a hard medium to sort of balance, but especially with the type of brand I want to create, like a legacy brand, you can't be going asking people to buy in like a straight up way. It has to be sort of indirect and smart about it. And something I want to do more is a little bit of guerrilla marketing. Now, guerrilla marketing, in terms of the sales funnel, is at the very top. It's not actually meant to convert people. It's just meant to get the awareness of a new crowd. And a good example of this recently in the UK streetwear scene is Ida Supply. Now, Ida recently released this t-shirt that says Free Kobbie Mainoo, and it went absolutely viral. And it's gone viral for a couple of reasons. One, it's trying to make an enemy of Ruben Amorim, because obviously some people like him, some people don't like him. And if you make an enemy with marketing, it is very, very good because it creates a conversation around your brand and product. Now, whether the conversation's good or not, it doesn't really matter, because the way that algorithms work on Instagram and TikTok, the more comments you get, the more your video gets pushed out, because they see it as performing better. So it doesn't matter if the comments are good or bad, it just matters that there is comments. Now, obviously, this t-shirt isn't going to be like a bestseller for Ida. It's not designed to be a bestseller. It's just designed to get new people, new eyes on the brand. And when they work their way down the sales funnel, at the end, they'll probably end up purchasing something from them at least once, and it's going to be because they initially saw them on the Free Kobbie Mainoo t-shirt. So as all great artists do, I'm stealing the idea. However, I'm going to wait until the World Cup. I've got a few ideas in mind, and I'm not going to leak them here because I don't want anyone else copying me. But if the reaction to my t-shirts are anything like the Free Kobbie Mainoo t-shirt, it is going to be a very, very good organic marketing promotion for my brand. And organic marketing is always more effective than paid. I think actually another reason why obviously the t-shirt did so well and got so much attraction is because it is in the Just Do It font. Now, Nike don't own the Just Do It font. It is just Futura Bold extended. So that's the exact font I'm going to use as well, because it's so familiar to people, and it's such a recognizable font that it already creates a little bit of trust within someone who's buying for the first time or looking to buy or interested. On first glance, the idea is, they think this is a Nike collab, but it isn't a Nike collab. And when you spark curiosity in a consumer, it often leads to sales. One thing I will say as well is I think marketing's the hardest part, because I'm more of an operational guy. I'm more of an operations guy trying to be a creative, so that's why I find it so difficult, but it might not be as difficult for you. So if you do find something that works straight away, just double down and lean into it. I just happen to still be in the same stage of finding out what actually works. A piece of advice I wish I took from myself ages ago as well is that putting out an experimental piece of content isn't the end of the world if it flops, because I mean, if it only gets 300 views, it's only got 300 views. Most of your followers haven't seen it anyway, so there is no shame in archiving it or just leaving it, to be honest. You need to take these little small failures as indications that, that's not working, let's pivot. And the faster you pivot, the faster your business will grow. Like last week on Frost, I didn't have anything to post in between drops, so what I did was made a compilation of iconic movies that sort of infused the ethos of Frost within them, and made like a 20-second, 25-second video, and it actually performed better than most of my other posts. So now I'm going to double down on that and make another one and put them out consistently when I don't really have anything promotional or new to show. And I wouldn't have known it worked if I didn't try it. You just have to try new things and be all right at accepting that you're not going to be the best at everything straight away, which was a hard pill for me to swallow, because when I was younger, I just seemed to, any new thing I started, I was just actually pretty decent at. But as you get older and stuff gets a lot harder, you realise that's not always the case. Now, I hope you did enjoy this vlog, because I really enjoy making them, and I do post every single Sunday at 6 PM. So if you did enjoy the video, please make sure you like, and most importantly, subscribe, because it does help me more than you know. And before I go on to this week's motivational quote, can we just appreciate the thumbnail for this video? I made that thumbnail in about 20 minutes, and I think it's the best one yet. It's all about constant improvement. And this week's quote is the following: no matter what your goal is, you will suffer to achieve it. So you may as well choose a goal big enough that's worth suffering for.